Is it working? Working? Yeah, it's working. Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Little Rev Sauce after the fact review in conjunction with the PWO. Tonight, got the founder, the one. We got Always Smoking, Sir Joseph Pesci in the building.
Hello.
We got Icon in the build.
Sup?
Talk a little Monday Night Raw. I know me and Pesci haven't done a wrestling show in a minute. We're doing it now. So, yeah, I don't have any, official overlays, guys. I play a game while we're talking about it, so just keep this in mind. We will eventually have more stuff happening when it comes to wrestling shows, so stay tuned. I'll create more. I know Pesci and I are working on something. We're brewing, something for, TNT over the week, so we're going to take on that TNT show eventually as an alternative. So, as an alternative. Because you guys have been telling me that you guys want an alternative. I hear you in my stream. I'll feel you guys, okay? And actually, some of you actually have been asking for an alternative. So we're going to bring that to you. I just got to find a day, figure it out with Pesci. We'll get an overlay. We'll get some things going for it. And, yeah. Anyway, Cody Rhodes. I felt, honestly, too long of a segment tonight, man. That segment kind of dragged on. The back half of it just dragged on. I thought Cody. Go ahead.
Oh no, go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
I thought Cody. I honestly thought Cody should have just told Rock to f off. Hey, you had your time in the sun, all this stuff. But it looks like it's gonna be Rock and Cody championship versus championship. What it looks like when the Rock comes back by SummerSlam. What it looks like. Because he's got movie roles. I don't know, Pesci, how did you feel? Yeah, People's Championship.
That's an actual championship?
Yeah, according to The Rock, it is.
Oh, wow.
They,
thought that was just some award. I thought that was like winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
He's treating it as a championship belt. Him and Cody traded titles tonight, and they holded both of each other's titles on each other's waist. Yeah. Or on the shoulder. Yeah, it was pretty awkward.
Yeah, I don't know if that scene tonight with them should have been about them being friends. So, that for me, that's what made it longer. And the only thing I hope that doesn't happen to Cody is he becomes too good, like a John Cena, and people start booing him.
I feel that.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Icon, about that segment tonight?
I felt like it's kind of long. It didn't felt like it's built up, honestly, and I just felt like it's kind of weird and awkward, and I have to agree with the crowd here.
I agree with Pesci on the aspect I don't want them to build Cody Rhodes. Honestly, I don't want them to build Cody Rhodes as the
because you see it happen to Seth Rollins. The problem is nowadays a lot of people like the bad boy guy, like heels and stuff, and sometimes if you're too good of a good guy, you'll eventually get booed. I mean, it's unfortunate.
That's what happened to him in AEW.
Unless he's able to cut some real good promos as a babyface, he might have a shot.
John Paul, what's up, buddy?
The problem with Seth was if he didn't have that music, I don't even know where Seth would be.
Because that's very true.
People were falling apart with him, or at least his promos and everything. He's great in the ring. That's not what I'm saying. But that music saved him because they were done with Seth for a minute.
Questions coming in. Hold on to interrupt Pesci real quickly. Question coming in. Josh says, "I'm ready for Rock and Cody feud." I'll let Pesci finish his thought real quick.
Well, no, all I was saying was, wait, what was I talking about right before?
Seth's music. You were going on about Seth's music.
No, all I meant was, I don't know where Seth would be without that music. That would be interesting. I think Cody has potential to cut good promos when he wants to, so we'll see. But I would add him and Rock still still colliding in somewhat. Fuck the handshake shit.
So let me be real with some of you guys real quick. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it a buck for a second. Why did you have Cody Rhodes come out tonight? And I don't know, nobody's saying this, but I'm gonna say this because no other show is gonna probably say this. I'm gonna say this. Right, we're in a new era, right? As we know. Why did Cody not turn around tonight and go, "Hey, Rock, you lost, or your boy lost. Why are you here challenging me to a new match, to a match when you're not even going to be here? Why don't we revisit this on a Raw when you come back? Why are you trying to spill my spotlight? This is my time. This is not your time. This is my time." I didn't understand that. I was wanting Cody to say something.
If I was booking, I would have had Cody say, "Hey, Rock," and then hit him with a move.
I can
have him do something heelish, even though he's a babyface.
Right. Go ahead, Icon.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Pessy, because that felt like it's kind of way too long, and it just, I don't know, it feels odd in a way. Honestly, after Cody won the world title off of Roman, and I was kind of assuming that either Roman gonna have like a point of have a rematch through X amount of days though.
They either needed to start, have the Rock and Cody still feuding, or the Roman Reigns and Rock thing needed to start right then.
I would be
true.
down.
Very true about that. One thing I will say tonight, I don't understand why the Cody hesitation. I noticed the Cody hesitation. Like, Cody wants to say something so off his mouth that's visually savage. And then you watch him for a minute and you're like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I knew some of those guys wrestling 2 nights in a row. They weren't going to wrestle tonight.
No.
I was surprised to see McIntyre only wrestled 1 though. So I guess I was wrong.
Well, I'll put it this way to you guys. I'll put it to this. I wish The Rock would have gotten like Crossroads or something. And then...
Sure, that's what I'm saying. He should have said, "Hey, Rock, I owe you one," and then hit him with something.
Yeah.
Like, hit him with something, gave him like the Stone Cold Steve Austin treatment, where that was the one thing with Stone Cold I liked about, where Stone Cold could be a babyface and then he can hit his finisher on you. But what I didn't understand is they were trading belts between each other. Like, we're making love to the... It just felt like I was watching something totally else.
That was weird. That was actually very, very awkward. I thought
that's
when I thought something was going to happen between them. And then when it didn't, I was like, I was very surprised there. I think this.
Yeah.
As soon as they shook hands, I think the only thing that could have saved it, I don't remember, my shit was buffering out, but when they shook hands or whenever they did that, that's when you could hit Roman Reigns' music, had him and Heyman come out, and then maybe start the rockin' Roman thing. Then, like, what are you doing siding with this guy shaking?
Right.
This guy's hand after we did all this. What are you doing? You know what I mean? You bloodline or not? And then something starts there. Or you have The Rock say something to Roman that makes him look at Solo crooked, like, "Solo, you gonna follow this guy?" And start to start the rift in the bloodline, of some sort.
Right.
Because Solos feel like he's gone backwards in a little bit. I thought he'd be farther along. People aren't screaming for Solo.
We said that last night, so we had like a party too. As you had some people, we had some people last night. We were all saying, I don't know if you felt the same way over when you guys were doing your watch along, and I was watching your guys' opinion over here last night. It feels like Cena couldn't put over Solo. Solo couldn't. For some reason, he's been ice cold. Like Solo Sikoa, he's been ice cold since John Cena put him over.
And he was actually at one point getting a little bit of, I thought he was starting to come around a little bit. I'm like, okay, this guy might. And it was during that Cena thing. You might be right. That might have been the last little bit of Solo. And I think when The Rock came in, it was easy for The Rock to just overshadow everything. Look, he almost overshadowed Roman until it was match time. Roman did great on those 2 matches, but up to that match, it was about Rock and Cody. Nobody could fucking admit that, or not, not say it wasn't.
I have to agree with that, honestly. I just want, and like, you're right about like Solo. I just want to see him like get like a push, like maybe have like a U.S. title or intercontinental, challenge through the ranks. Honestly,
Solo was literally United States champion before he got, or sorry, North America champion in NXT. He was on a roll. He did not need John
yeah,
Cena to put him over. That was the thing. He came into WWE hotter than shit. Then
I mean, if you wanted to do that, that's fine, but then don't slow it down. They
right.
slowed it down.
I 100%
You want to beat
agree.
Cena? That's cool. Everybody. Here's what's funny thing about Cena. At this point, they've been beating Cena left and right. Beating Cena is not a hard thing to do. Goddamn, Kevin Owens did it on his first match at Raw ever.
Yeah, he did.
And and I like Cena, but I think at times when Vince was calling shots, Vince just decided to beat him a lot. He lost to Austin Theory, I think, last year.
Yeah, he did.
WrestleMania, and then walked out sad.
Well, here's the thing about John Cena. He's talking about making a comeback as what? He says he has one more title reign in him. As what? What are you going to be a title of? He wants to beat Flair's record. What is he going? You've proven our point. You've proven the point, Pesci, here, that with him is if you have him lose, then his star value just goes downhill. He's not championship worthy.
Not as much. It's like they were, when people say, "Oh, I beat Cena," I was like, "God damn!" At least the last couple of years, that hasn't really been like a hard thing to do. Brock Lesnar was whooping his ass a couple of years back every time they faced each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That is not a joke.
Maybe if they would have treated Cena like Brock, maybe the Cena Aurora would be a little bit bigger. If they beat him too. And I like Cena and he's still over.
Yes.
When he's going to get a pop or a reaction, and that's what's cool. I mean, you saw at WrestleMania, they went nuts when he came out. But he's got to get some victories. And God bless him. A guy at his stature taking those losses like he has, I couldn't imagine fucking Brock Lesnar doing that.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you guys know, you're going to hear more Pesci here on this channel because Pesci and I are working on something coming soon where we'll talk wrestling, whatnot. Real quickly, this week in wrestling, I know this is a Raw review, but this week in wrestling, I don't know how Pesci feels, but we were talking about this. I feel AEW is reaching for the skies when it comes to what they're doing on Wednesday. I think it's really stupid. They should focus on, and I think this is the consensus that I heard in the community of mine that we cover wrestling on. The consensus was from you guys are tired of it. AEW should just be solid number 2, take their number 2 belt and just go their married way and build what they have.
Well, I got to say this. For Tony Khan to, say, I'm releasing this, I'm releasing it, I'm releasing it. I got to believe if they're not working on it, there's going to be something in this video everybody has to see. Whether that changes the opinion of CM Punk, who knows? But I doubt it because I look at it like this. If you show me a video where CM Punk just chokes out Jack Perry and he's going nuts, my thing is I still look at it like this. There was Samoa Joe. There's all these other guys. How out of control is it, Tony? You're going to tell me there was, you know what I mean? I had to believe that there is something in this video where we're going to be like, holy fuck. Because I just couldn't imagine this video being subpar and Tony releasing. I think CM Punk did that interview and the Bucks were like, you know what? Show that footage. He wants to do that, show that footage. We could show that. And we'll see. And you know what? If AEW's plan was just to draw a number on Wednesday, well, it's mission accomplished because we all want to see what we're all going to watch on Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, so I'll put it this way. So we're going in depth. They said they were going to show just more than just that. So they got a lot up their sleeves. So they're going to have a town hall. So what's the first hour going to be dedicated to a town hall? That's what I'm assuming they're going to do. They're going to shoot here. It's going to be for real. Troll. If they troll people, it's going to backfire. They don't give us enough here, they're going to look bad anyway. So either way, they're going to look bad. And to me, they look like the salty company, honestly. Because CM Punk right now, they're utilizing CM Punk to the fullest. WWE is. And
AEW is still trying to use him the poll rating.
Yep.
I mean,
I don't think AEW can compare with WWE, but we have to wait and see. No, I said this the other night to you guys when it was brought up to me. What did I think about the 2 nights ago we were doing a watch along, right? I said it then as I'll say it now. AEW, what they need to do is just stay as number 2. Just stay as number 2. Nothing more.
Yeah.
Number 2, make their titles prestigious and concede. Just take number 2. They're never going to be number 1 until they start doing things. The thing with AEW, what they could have.
They may never be number 1. They just need to get themselves together because they got enough talent to be a wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
Just be a good wrestling show. And if you're good enough, who knows? You might sneak into that conversation. But Tony, there's no doubt when you look at your numbers, yeah, it's because of the way you fucking ran the show.
Well, here's another one for you. Maybe you agree with me with this one, but Icon and I were both saying the same thing. Tony Khan ain't a leader. Why didn't you bring in somebody that can wine and dine the wrestlers? For instance, like a Scott D'Amore, and have him be your pit bull, and Tony Khan can be the guy that just floats the place with money.
That might exist. They might have that. But guys are getting paid so much by Tony, they're probably just following suit. Like they said, he's paying some sick money. And some of those guys are like, am I going to say something to this guy after he gave me a contract like that? Do what you want. I'll be here. I'm going to get my money. I'm out of it. It's like Sasha Banks saying she's going back to WWE one day. That shows you where her head was. Almost like she already knew what AEW was going to be. She saw that as that money.
Right. All right. So we're going to go. We'll go after the Rock segment. Guys, we're going to go in and out of order of matches. So tonight was kind of weird. I kind of joined because Pesci's been taking it. I'll be honest with you guys. Pesci and I get worn out when it comes to talking wrestling sometimes, where all this weekend was so much wrestling just happening all at once. And trying to watch it all was insane. Like you had Ring of Honor, you had Bloodsport. All these shows did very well over the weekend. No doubt. But WrestleMania, when you stack in, you're watching 7 to 8 hours of wrestling, you're going to be exhausted within 2 days, and especially when you're trying to get sleep. And then you get up the next day, and that wasn't even including this weekend. There was good sports, too. The women's final, then you had the men's final 4. You had all this happening, and it was just like the sports weekend was on fire. Yeah, Cody coming out tonight, honestly, was literally, to me, too long. I thought shorter. Priest got the bad end of the stick to me. You just gave Priest this championship, right? And he's not even basking in it. He basked in it for 10 minutes. Not even that. 5. In a promo. And you have Truth coming out. I'm going to say this, and I know it's going to be a terrible, hard take. But I want to tell you this, and then maybe other shows won't tell you this. I felt they buried Priest tonight. Priest should be coming out going, man, I'm the champion. I'm the champion. And it's like, you had Truth coming out and all this bullshit. And I'm like, you made Rhea Ripley and your new champion look stupid. You made them both look stupid. They're putting their championships up saying the Judgment Day rules everything, right? On Raw. And then you have Truth come out. Don't get me wrong. I love Truth. I love Miz, right? You made the Judgment Day look like clowns. And your 2 championship belts look like clowns. In a matter of minutes. Maybe it'll get better. I don't know. Who knows? But you just made Damian Priest look like a clown. Wearing a red suit. He looked like a clown. Ronald McDonald.
Sure.
And that's sad.
Yeah, I agree there. I thought they had a chance to maybe move Judgment Day along like as more of a dominant group. He could have came out, cut a dominant promo. You got Rhea Ripley there. They're back together. Dominic's there. He's not winning, doing
Right.
that lucha match.
Here's what
So
they need to do. Get rid of
You had the
Dominic.
band back together.
Get rid of Dominic out of the group and get rid of JD McDonough. Have it a 3-man group where you have Priest, Rhea, and Balor, right? You have both, right? Get rid of all 3. Get rid of the bloat. JD McDonough's he's not a needle pusher.
I don't know if Dominic's ready to be by himself, but then you'd have to put him with somebody else if you don't want him with Judgment Day.
That Tasma's group.
Yeah, that's fine.
Put him there.
That's what I said. You got to put him in a group. If you're gonna take him away from Rhea, I couldn't imagine Dom being a heel solo. He needs another element.
Let's see. It was cool. It was cool seeing the NXT. I can't read the rest of that. Let me read that here, Josh.
I mean, Dom's technically young enough to where most guys his age are still in NXT, right?
Yes. Roxanne Perez is his age too. Yeah, he's 24. Roxanne Perez. Yeah, Roxanne. I'm assuming Roxanne Perez is 24. Tiffany Stratton's 24. Vicarious.
That's actually pretty impressive when you think about Dominic to be the age he was. And this is a few years back he was wrestling in the big league. They didn't even put him in NXT. Fucking Rey Mysterio, who knows how to wrestle, was like, no, he could.
Roxanne Perez is 22 years old. And let me tell you guys something. WWE has some really young talent right now. 22 through 24. Jay Cargill's not even 30. Jay Cargill's 24, 25.
Sure.
And she's married to Brandon Phillips of the MLB.
Old baseball player.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you say it's cool. Yeah, I thought it was cool. But I'm going to say this about Roxanne Perez. And I'm going to say this about Ilya Dragunov. They are saving them from when they're really ready. I think where Triple H gets me going is where he's not rushing people like a Vince McMahon did. Talents that you're seeing rushed on Raw tonight, that I'm going to tell you honestly that I think is really pathetically sad, and maybe they need a restart. Maybe they need to put them back in NXT. Maybe have them go through something kind of like what...
They must have signed Braun Breaker to SmackDown.
Yes, they did.
He should have been on there. Okay.
Yeah. And
There's no reason why he's not. You got people like fucking Garza and running around. It's time to put Braun Breaker on.
Problem with Braun Breaker is they fuck themselves over. He's with Baron Corbin over on NXT with the championship belts. Tag team belts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like they haven't done it before. Split guys up for no reason to get them where they're supposed to be. I just don't think when I see guys like, for instance, Dominic on the main roster, McDonough, something like that. Get Braun Breaker up there already.
Yeah, I agree with that, but they pushed him back. They holding him back. Now the one person.
Yeah, I get it. They're probably afraid to cripple NXT because him and I guess Baron are doing a good job. I haven't watched, but I heard they were, making it work because you know how Baron Corbin is. He's a very hit and miss guy. He's either get out of my sight, or sometimes you're like, okay, he works doing that. Because he's got a good move set. He's got 2 Raw names for his 2 moves, too. And sometimes he could talk. I just think he was, under Vince McMahon, he was a character given many different directions. And when you're given that many different directions, you have no chance of fucking success. Especially when you're average. He was, maybe and The Rock, give The Rock credit when he first started. He was a failure. But his second character was a winner to the point where it's still going today. So maybe we haven't seen the best or worst out of some of those guys, and hopefully they could readjust, become good.
So, Icon, what was your thing of the night for Monday Night Raw? What was your go thing to it?
It was like decently good, like not too great nor above good though. I just feel like basically a few misses in there, and like you're right about like the whole Judgment Day kind of took like a little bit of time for like through the obviously the heavyweight champion from like casting in through Drew when kind of he carried like little far on
Sure.
WrestleMania and also with Cody. Like, it's really good, but it's just some parts were kind of missed over the others.
I get you. I will tell
I agree with
you.
you.
I'll tell you. They showed more love to that, and to me, I just felt, why did we have to have the Universal title on, or the Undisputed? Why did we need to have it here? We could have had that done on SmackDown where it belongs. Damian Priest, I thought the reverse should have happened. Damian Priest should have came
No,
out
you're right.
and made him
Yeah,
look
yeah,
like
yeah.
$1 million.
We're gonna split the belts up and then put them back on the show together.
Yeah,
Here we go
that
again.
was the first thing I said to Icon. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, like I
I
have
think
to
I
agree.
just think that when they have two sets of tag teams in that current state of that company, it waters the belts down because I believe it should just be the champions on both Raw and SmackDown, and they get a match. Either it's one match on SmackDown for the belts, one match on Raw, but two sides of belts. They just don't have enough tag teams. I think.
So I'm gonna go to the comments. I'm curious, who's Cody's first opponent going to be? And I love. I'll read the other one. I love Punk screwing Drew Mac. Yeah, Drew McIntyre. I'm obviously believing he re-signed with the company, so this is setting up for a blood feud. And I'm with Pesci. He said it earlier. This should have been. I agree with Pesci when he said it should not be Priest with the championship. It should be Punk with the championship, reverse. And it should be them fighting each other throughout the next 6 months, leading to possibly Punk losing.
I wouldn't be surprised if these guys don't watch AEW. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if you asked Drew, do you watch AEW? And he's like, never. Not because they're the opposite company, just because, sometimes you don't watch wrestling shows with a guy of that stature or whatever. But for Drew to go to AEW, he has to be able, if he knows anything, he has to look over there at the guys they brought in, the Edge, Christian. Christian's done well. I think Edge has become very normal. Other than us knowing him being Edge, he hasn't done much over there. So if Drew's going to go over there, Drew has to realize, hey, you're literally taking money, and there's a chance you'll be watered down to hell by the time you're out of there.
Your stock value
But the
will go down.
WWE will always take them back. Fans will always.
I will tell you guys. I will honestly tell you that Drew McIntyre, I will tell you, probably resign with WWE, and I guess they're gonna give him they're doing this whole feud for 6 months, leading to. It looks like they're leading to SummerSlam with this because we're like 4 months away from it and a big stadium. So why don't you have Drew McIntyre? And the way Triple H likes to book, from what I've seen in the making of WrestleMania, they're booking things 6 months in advance. So different era, where Vince booked on the fly, where Triple H is doing it differently. He's taking the New Japan approach, where everything is being built 6 months in advance, and they had to throw a couple audibles because people got hurt. But I'll give Triple H credit. It's getting better. And the thing is, I think once they hit Netflix, it'll be a little bit more mature. I don't need
Sure.
and this is the one thing I said last night, and somebody asked me, how do I feel with WWE in 2025 going to Netflix? I don't want them to turn up the blood like AEW. I just want them to be able to curse a little bit, freeform a little bit, just tune it up another notch. They don't need to go any more further. They got the good matches. They can tune up their storylines as long as they don't repeat matches, and they keep it kind of like, I would say, Ruthless Aggression era. A little bit better. I'll be fine. I didn't say they needed to do blood like AEW. AEW does too much blood sometimes, and I have to turn my head to where I'm like, are we really, like Swerve Strickland, we don't need to go extra every week. I didn't understand that. He's getting beat up with the chain.
AEW just finds a way to make blood on their channel.
I don't need Swerve Strickland to lick his fucking hand and sign in blood. You know what I mean? I don't need that. I just need you to look like, okay, this is where I love about WWE to an extent. WWE is showing you why they're the better promotion. Every week they're showing you at this point. There's no doubt that when they sell 72,000, they did that on purpose over the weekend. They've done a lot of things on purpose to fuck with AEW over the weekend, but WWE's allowed to because they basically showed you their hands, and they're showing your hands on Raw. One thing I will say about Raw, and I don't know if Pesci or Icon agree, I like the minimalistic stage setup. I don't know about that. I just like the homage.
Oh, the new stage?
Yeah, I like that. It's very to the point.
Not bad. Yeah, because I like how the fans are like right around it.
Yes. When do you think The Rock and Cody will start before SummerSlam or at? So The Rock is coming back in August. SummerSlam's at the end of the month, where at Cleveland Brown Stadium, at the end of the month, right? So The Rock's gonna be coming in somewhere in the middle of that. So I'm assuming they're gonna have like 3 weeks of television, and you pretty much have already dedicated to him. So they've pretty much booked themselves already, ready to go. This storyline's already booked. Pesci can write. I honestly can write this too. Like, it's easy. Have The Rock come in for 3 weeks, shit all over Cody, beat Cody up, and then we just get right to it. They pretty much have booked themselves a match already without having to book it. You could book it yourself. You could just pick right off of where they went with the WrestleMania, where it him in the blood, and you could do the same thing all over again. Now, when The Rock does lose, and I think he's going to lose, when he does lose and put Cody over, I want him to go automatically into a feud with Roman. Literally, Roman Reigns, Bloodline Civil War, and we start bringing in new people into this. The Jacob Fatus and the things like that. That's when you bring those people in. Tamba Tongas and, the people that are a part of the family. Maybe you add The Rock's daughter into it. Maybe you do something fun. That's what you do with that one, honestly. But I do want to see Roman come back. And I've said this, I don't know if Pesci feels this way, but me and Icon were both saying this last night. I think Roman Reigns is going to blow up on SmackDown somewhere. And he's going to start blaming everybody for his problems. Because he was crying after the fact. Like he was having a meltdown. So they're going to play into that. They have to, because Roman Reigns has done that before. He's going to blame the wise man. He's going to blame Solo Sikoa. He's going to blame Jimmy. He's going to take out his whole family, so it's just going to be him. But here's my thing. The wise man, and I'm already going to tell you guys this, I think he fires the wise man as Story. And then you guys asked me, who's the wise man going to work with? Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker becomes a Paul Heyman guy. Why? Sure, because Braun Breaker is not a voice. He's not a talker on the mic. He destroys people. That or Carmelo Hayes. I've said one of the two. Carmelo Hayes or Braun. And I think more of Braun. So that's my personal opinion when it comes to I don't know about these gentlemen here. How do you guys feel? Do you think what do you think about when do you think Cody and Rock's gonna feud? When do you think that's taking place? You think that's taking place at SummerSlam?
I would have to believe that they're gonna use The Rock at SummerSlam after everything he just did at WrestleMania. Could be wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be on August 3rd for SummerSlam, so I would probably lean towards afterwards for the better side of building. So I would probably be more comfortable and confident on that side.
Can I see Trick Williams becoming NXT champion? Here's my answer to you. No. I do not see Trick Williams becoming championship material. Maybe next year, Stand and Deliver. If you watch Stand and Deliver that over the weekend, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, main event of NXT over the weekend. Did you watch NXT Stand and Deliver?
Oh, I only saw the Trick Williams match, believe it or not.
Yeah, he was the tall guy. He was the big tall one. Not Carmelo Hayes, the one with the glasses. He was the one that said, "Whoop that trick."
Yep.
So that's everybody's wanting him to be champion. Technically,
I don't blame him.
I can understand. It's just a little bit more building up. That's about it. Like, I feel like he's like 75% ready, but not 100.
Noted. Josh, in this review show, I would say honestly, for you, bud, I would say to you, Trick Williams probably next year. I don't think Ilya Dragunov. They got to have him be the champion for a while. He's being built up like a Gunther-esque,
I can see that. Yeah.
and WWE's
Yeah,
very high up.
if you're gonna keep that guy's champion, maybe you could think about bringing Trick to SmackDown.
Ooh, that's another one. You could pull him up earlier. Yeah, I could see that. I think
because he's hot now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You could. What would you have? Okay, so if that's the case,
I mean, even if he wasn't a good wrestler, everybody loves that whoop that Trick.
okay, so what would you have? Okay, so if you have him come up to SmackDown and not win an NXT belt, what would you have him come up? Who would you have him feud with first?
That I don't know.
Um.
Because I want it to make sense, but yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
I don't know. Pesci kind of said it. Why are we still doing the drafts?
Yeah.
Why are we still doing the
Yeah.
draft?
I feel it's a little bit early for the draft. I would probably recommend like maybe Backlash afterwards. So keep that shaken after the pay-per-view. Kind of have like build off on what is it that way, and keep it uniquely different.
Well, they pretty much played their hands tonight. They pretty much put Jay Cargill on Raw. Did you see that? Did you see the Raw graphic? They put her on Raw.
Yeah.
Wasn't she a SmackDown person? So you're telling me right now that whole when Charlotte comes back, you're not going to start that feud? Because they left that in the can for when Charlotte does come back. Jay Cargill versus Charlotte. That I think that's going to be the first mega feud to put Jade over. They have to. Pesci said they have to pull the trigger now on Jade. There is no other choice.
Yeah, I can relate honestly to that. Like, I felt like she's like worked through AEW just for go through WWE and skip NXT. I just see that it's a little bit like early. I'm not saying far from, but it's like pretty near honestly, and she is like hot and to like the full effect though. So I would probably see like her versus Rhea Ripley, you know, without the belt first and go from there.
What's up, Sean? Um, let me read the other comment here. Sorry, I was spacing out for a second. Can we see a Cody and Seth feud in the near future? No. Seth is going to be gone for a while with a meniscus tear. There's no way. He's probably going to rehab for a while, probably surgery. I don't expect, if we see Rollins, then it's a work, but he was carried off by 3 other people into the locker room after Cody went over at the end. If you didn't pick up on that, Rollins did not make it back into the ring after the match, and Cody went over to him, and you can hear him basically, Rollins says, when I come back, you owe me one. You owe me one for this. I saved your ass. And Cody basically said yes. Because if you pick it up on the Peacock, if you watch the whole entire Cody celebration thing they did at the end, at the very end, he goes over to Rollins, he shakes his hand, and they have choice words between each other about you owe me one and I saved your ass. So you could kind of hear what they were kind of saying. I think that's what they said. I can't confirm. But it looks like it's going to be Seth and Cody probably down the road. I said if they keep the belt on Cody until next year, I could see Seth. I could see Seth coming back, but I don't know. Do you bring Seth back as a heel though? That's going to be the question, because Seth's going to have to be a heel in this feud, right? I'm assuming if they go that way, wouldn't Seth have to be a heel?
I can actually feel about that one. It kind of like I saw it when he faced kind of towards like Sensuke. I'm sorry if I butchered, but like when he got that entrance kind of rolling as champion a little bit, and that was like probably I think back last like maybe around the summer or fall.
Right. What does Pesci think?
Of which one? I forgot the question. I'm sorry.
The question is, do you see Seth and Cody? Somebody in the crowd was asking, do you see Seth? Can we see Seth and Cody feuding in the near future? Well, Seth is hurt. That's going to be your thing. Seth's going
Too
to be
early
done.
for that. They just shook hands at Mania.
Yeah, they did.
That is true.
And basically, Seth basically said, "You owe me one. You owe me one later down the line." But Seth got carried out. I think Seth's off to surgery. Basically, can you ever see Roman turning good, or just keep him heel character? He's gonna turn good. Triple H already said he's already got tons of stuff for Roman. He said Roman Reigns is not being moved off of TV. During the media scrum yesterday, he basically said that there's going to be more stuff for Roman to do. So Roman's not going anywhere anytime soon. So, and plus you got to get the bloodline stuff, the deception of the bloodline going. Start brewing. Do you do it? Do you pull the trigger this week? No. You got to give Roman a break. So Roman's going to probably take 2 weeks. You'll probably see him not on television for 2 weeks. This week and next week. And then you'll see him come back and try to put the pieces together on what went wrong with the bloodline. You know what I mean? What went wrong. And he's going to probably start blaming people. The wise man. He's going to blame The Rock. He's going to blame anybody he can find. And cry about saying how it, like we were saying the other night. And I don't know if Pesci picked up on it, but I kind of, or last night if he picked up on it. It feels like Roman is going to blame. He's going to play the game of, I was unfair cheated. I was slighted when he made the rules, when he made it's going to play that way because Roman's done this before. Early on, before he did when he was doing the believe that shit, and then he turned into crazy Roman. And then he became the acknowledge me bloodline shit. So we'll see. I'm not 100% on the whole Roman Reigns thing, what he's going to do, but I don't think we're going to see Roman Reigns for 2 weeks. At least. And like I said, Roman doesn't need to be on television right now. Roman deserves a break. He holds the belt long enough. And plus it's a new era. You really think about it, and I said this, Roman Reigns was a Vince McMahon guy. Like, it's the passing of the guard. That's why honestly, if you want to go there, that's why they did what they did. Let's see. We had the Fatal Four.
I agree.
We had the Fatal Four-Way match tonight. That went to Jey Uso. Thanks to CM Punk. They're continuing that storyline, so that's good. I wasn't really into the tag team match with the Judgment Day, and I felt that was a little stupid, but they brought in John Cena anyway to get a crowd pop for him. No, that made sense. And it's R-Truth. You can't go wrong with R-Truth. So,
yeah.
Indy Hartwell was really surprised they brought her in and had her just lose. Had her just lose.
Well, they're planning on breaking that team up, I think.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be like you're right about like breaking up the team, but I might have to assume after that like rivalry through Indy and Kansas though, so might have like a good match there.
Could. Also, too, can we just give it to Triple H? Like, this is the one thing I'm going to give Triple H tonight on. He has made the Undisputed Championship look prestigious. Like, you love it or hate it, the way it looks. Cody, they're saying Cody may get his own championship belt of his own. I don't think they need to give him a championship belt of his own, like, customized. I think the belt, I said it to Icon now with his stuff on it. I thought it looked nice. I thought it looked nice, and I did like the send off, but they don't need to be doing that. I do not want Cody to be presented as a John Cena-esque "We the Children" for John Cena. I don't want to see that from Cody. I want to see Cody. I want the suits to go away. Personally, for me, if they're gonna give him the moniker of the People's Champion down the road when he beats The Rock, if The Rock, gives the baton to him of the People's Champion, Cody needs to take the suits off. Seriously, he needs to be badass Cody. That's just my personal opinion. Because the suits are not doing it for me. He just looks like a governor. Than being as Roman says, a politician.
Yeah.
I can see that. I felt like he kind of had it a little bit through, I think Kane, but without the, red machine kind of flavor to that.
Can you see Cena breaking Flair's record? I'll let Pesci touch that one. Pesci's got more of a insight on that one. I can't really answer that one. That's why I'm passing the baton. Somebody asked in the chat, can you see Cena breaking Flair's record?
Well,
in the new era.
Storyline, sure. With the right storyline, yes.
Okay.
And if WWE kind of is looking for something new to do, like something to spice it up.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, anything's possible in the new era of WWE, honestly. We just saw Stephanie McMahon come back live on night 2, so anything's possible in night 2. Or in the new era, the Paul Levesque era. So anything's possible. They showed off Julia. They're talking about working with other promotions. WWE's trying to touch dirt. Triple H has a vision. He wants NXT Japan. He wants NXT Europe. He wants NXT, Mexico. So, why not work with all the promotions, honestly? Put them over.
Yeah.
GCW, they did. They had Shayna Baszler and Charlie Dempsey over the weekend at Bloodsport, so it makes sense.
And they've already proved they will do stuff with TNA.
Yep. And they said they may do more with them in the future. So you could see maybe a champion over on their product. Maybe you see something. One thing that did come out, if you guys haven't figured out tonight on Raw, the camera angles have changed. They're doing more camera work than ever. Like they do the oversight shots, kind of like what ESPN does now. They hired the guy that used to produce EA College Game Day stuff. So, and other ESPN stuff. Triple H announced that. And him, Nick Khan, and I think Emmanuel are sitting in a room and they come up with the production stuff. So it looks like WWE's camera stuff is getting a little bit better. Now, I wish they would add a Tenatron up above. With this simple stage they're going to, I wish they would add like some type of screen, because Triple H at the very beginning had to call out for a monitor to come out or something like that. Somebody put a monitor in the thing. They'll get that airing out. They'll get that aired out eventually. Crazy Raw crowd tonight. 20,000 fans in the arena. Yeah, I believe it. Raw has been hot. SmackDown's been hot. When you put on good,
they're on a sellout record.
When you put on good wrestling and good shows, right? As Pesci's been saying, if you put on good stuff, fans will come. That's just how this works. When you
they gotta if they keep this streak going, they're gonna have a good year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Even all the podcasts, like the bigger ones, all their numbers are up too. JD's, Solo Monster, all them guys, their numbers are.
By the way, I'm going to tell you guys this something real quickly. I am not going to call, and a lot of my constituents did last night, and I found it to be silly. I'm not calling. If you guys are calling this the new era of WWE, right? We're calling this the new era, the new changing of the guard. You cannot call WrestleMania the greatest thing ever lived. You can't call it that. If you're calling it the greatest WrestleMania ever done, as some of our constituents are saying on YouTube, right? Here's the thing. Then if that's the case, then I have to go way back. How about Stone Cold The Rock? If you're calling it the greatest show ever, which I'm not because they're calling this the new era. So I can't call it the greatest WrestleMania ever because it's a new era. If they're saying we're starting over, right? This is the new WWE, we're starting over, right? Then at this point, I cannot say WrestleMania such and such is the best WrestleMania of all time because that's a different era. During the Vince McMahon era, okay, WrestleMania 25 or whatever is great. WrestleMania 40 and beyond, that's Triple H new era stuff. It would be stupid of me to say that now because that's the way WWE presented it. When they came out after Cody said and Triple H came out and said, oh, it's the new era, man. I can't judge out of the WrestleManias now. It would be like the NFL coming out saying after Super Bowl, blah, 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 we're done. And this is the new era of football. Anything before that, okay, we could compare that. But anything else prior to that, you have to compare it to what has been priorly done. You can't compare it to new era stuff. They're saying we're closing a chapter. So you can't compare them. My all-time favorite feud was Rock and Austin. Yeah, a lot of people is. I just don't understand why everybody in the YouTube community was like, oh, this is the greatest WrestleMania ever, all time. It's the greatest thing on earth. And I'm like, guys, no. If you're going there, no. There's been way better WrestleManias. Don't get me wrong. What they did with Cody was great. But they've done this before. WWE has done this before. Come on now. As wrestling fans, Pesci can point out. Pesci's been watching wrestling a lot longer than me. He could point out some stuff that they've done in the past that's better. That done better. They had send-offs and moments, you know what I mean? In comparison. Yeah. I don't understand why my constituents did that, and a lot of people were clickbaiting last night. I didn't understand that. WrestleMania was good, don't get me wrong, but it's not like, if we're stacking it to all of them, I'm not putting it the greatest to ever live.
Yeah, that was...
As far as the new era, sure. Okay, if you're saying forget about all the other WrestleManias, right? Under the Vince McMahon era, right? This is our new era, the Paul Levesque. Okay, then this is the first one. Okay, then we could say that. But you can't say that. You got to give them like 10. Give me 10 WrestleManias. Honestly, give me 10 WrestleManias booked by Triple H before we start having that conversation. You know what I mean? Give me 10 WrestleManias. Then let's have that conversation. 10 years down the road. You know what I mean? Then let's have that conversation, what we have. We only have a small, and this is the thing that people don't realize, we have a small window of Triple H stuff. If you want to go there, being up at WWE, okay? Cody's his guy, okay? So you got to think about it this way. Cody's his first guy that he's putting faith into to carry the company. Roman Reigns was a Vince McMahon guy. That was the last big dude that Vince put, faith into. Cody wasn't a Vince McMahon guy. He was a Triple H Hunter guy all along, / Randy Orton. So you gotta put it that way. I don't know why I don't know why people are not talking this way, but Triple H has only been a creative guy now full time for a cup of coffee. We can't, there's not enough window there, you know what I mean? For me to go, oh man, Triple H is, let's see a year from now when they go to, let's see what they do next year at WrestleMania. This is his first one. Let's see if he can repeat this. There's SummerSlam. Let's see what he could do. You know what I mean? That's what I've been telling everybody around me. It's like, let's see. I think people are having a reaction. Yes, WrestleMania. Yes, WWE's been doing great things, right? But we shouldn't get blinded because we could be sitting here 3 months from now and going, oh shit, these shows are awful. Oh God. You know what I mean? Like we're doing now with AEW. Like AEW was great for the first 3 weeks. And all of a sudden now they're starting to tail off going into Dynasty. They went way too hard in the paint. You know what I mean? I think me and Pesci have said this. They went way too hard the first 3 weeks, and now it's all tailing off. The first month, they had it right, and then they just went tailed off. And now it's getting boring. You know what I mean? How much blood could you do? Tony Khan thinks blood's going to save his ass. It don't work that way. You're losing fans. And the reason why you're losing fans is
I
because
agree.
you keep repeating the same actions. Well, who did that a lot? Vince McMahon. What
Sure.
Tony Khan needs to do, and this is me, he needs to have somebody behind him that can teach him the ways. Here's how you book a match. Here's how you please your wrestlers. Don't be friends with your wrestlers. I agree with people like Bully Ray. I'll put it this way. I agree with Bully Ray what he had to say. Tony Khan, before he bought his promotion, he should have sat with another promotions person and learned from them first. Understudied before he went into an adventure of building wrestling. He's more of a...
You should be able to hire a guy to do that, though, with his kind of money.
You should. Yeah, I agree with that.
That guy should have been able to be found under his label. It's not like he has to go sit with TNA and learn from TNA. No, just get some guys in there, and who knows? Maybe some people told him to do some of these things they've done.
Or maybe
Jericho has signed off on a lot of shit we didn't like.
Who this? What's up, buddy? Thank you for that. Over on Kick. Maybe you're right.
You know, because if Tony's such a nice guy, I couldn't imagine Tony being the guy saying, do this or else. So I can imagine a lot of blame that's being on Tony. I can imagine some of these wrestlers like, damn, that was my idea.
Maybe you're right.
Or
maybe you've been right this whole time. Maybe it's the money that he's throwing around and he's got a bunch of yes people.
yeah, because it's like Tony is so much of a mark that if someone's like, look, if Edge was like, Tony, I can't do it. You think Tony's going to be like, you have to. He ain't get a Vince McMahon Edge. Tony, the problem with Tony, and Vince didn't have this problem, was Tony wants to be your friend, and he comes from a fan perspective.
Right.
Vince was building a business. He either wanted to be looked at as a father or a fucking your boss. You know, it was no like, because you heard Kevin Nash say, a lot of guys looked at Vince like a father. So Tony doesn't want that, nor should he, but at the same time, he's got to get a voice of the voices. Like, you got to give somebody a position like Pierce and Nick Aldis. You got to have a guy like that, but you got to have a guy like that kind of calling good shit, not your shit.
Right.
You know, we'll see. Tony
Okay.
does.
So I'm listening to a constituent real quick, and I want to say this. No, the setup was not a Raw as War. I'm an old school guy, right? When it comes to wrestling, and I know Pesci likes old school stuff too. This gave me the vibes of In Your House. How it was so basic that they used to bring out Tenetrons out from the back just to show footage. Same principle.
Yeah.
In Your House. I wouldn't be surprised if, because Triple H is all about old school shit and lineage, right? I'm saying the word right. I wouldn't be surprised he brought back In Your House as pay-per-views. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Tapped into WWE's old stuff just for fun. Because it looks like he's having fun. Triple H knows what he wants. And I'm not blowing smoke up his ass. I'm not trying to gaslight him. I'm just pointing out that right now, currently how I feel like, you know, with the Queen of the Ring coming back, King of the Ring as a pay-per-view thing every year, and them wanting to be larger than life, I could see them bringing In Your House, you know, doing house shows and doing those again as like house show pay-per-views. Because Triple H is Triple H, you know. And Nick Khan has said they want to do wild things. Oh, crap. Didn't mean. Sorry if you hear my dogs, my bad. And what's going on?
Hold on, I got to go let mine.
Give me just a second. Make sure my door shut all right. Sorry, guys. The fun of having to run back and forth with dogs and whatnot. I apologize. Somebody in my house is screaming at my dogs, trying to get them to stop. My bad. Icon. How did you feel about the NXT call-ups tonight? We had Roxanne Perez and we had Ilya Dragunov. How did you feel?
I would probably say I'll prefer like the Roxanne match a little bit more better. I know like I missed a little bit on like early enough like just a small hand, you know. missed that, but I feel like it's like felt like a match between like a semi chopper though, and you know, like for a good warm up match. But like I'm not, not going to discredit them though.
I feel bad. I feel bad you called Shinsuke Nakamura a jobber. Wow.
Yeah, like I know hot take, but like I felt like he's not have like a lot of quite success for like maybe a few months, but maybe like a little bit along the way from now in the future. I feel like he's kind of gonna have like a better take, which I hope maybe a good heel match sometimes, but just felt that way a little bit for like just for that match though.
I'll put it this way: ever since the Rick Boogs, the thing that they put in with Shinsuke has been just a jobber, and it's so sad. Ever since Rick Boogs, he's never been the same again. That was like Rick Rude, and I know where Pesci thinks I'm going to go with this one is when they put Dolph Ziggler with Rick Rude. It went downhill. The glorious one went away so quick, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
You know, when you put Dolph Ziggler in with somebody, you know it's game over at this point. You're becoming a jobber real quick. Tonight we didn't see the flashy call-ups as I thought we were. We saw 2 NXT people, and that was that. We didn't see very much of anything else after that. Honestly.
Yeah.
I
I thought there would be one more after I saw that one person come out, the NXT champion. But they had both NXT champions up there, so I mean, what are you gonna do?
That's true. No flashy signings. WWE's working like Triple H has said. Triple H said he's doing his farm system, minor league system. He said it himself. So honestly, really at the end of the day, really at the end of the day, Triple H is building it within. And that's how WWE should be. I wasn't really surprised with the NXT call-ups. Roxanne Perez is hot right now, so is Ilya Dragunov. I think it'll be a one-off for now. They'll be on Raw. I don't think they're going to lose belts at the moment. As far as I'm concerned, Backlash looks like it's going to be kind of banging. So far, Jey Uso, they're going to reward him with the main event spot. Okay, cool. I don't think he's going to win that. You don't just have Priest lose right off the rip. Unless there's some hokey pokey shit that happens, then okay.
Right.
No Jacob Fatu. So that was one thing you guys all told me about Jacob Fatu, and I did research on that. He did tweet he was signed with WWE, but then WWE officials came out immediately after he wrote the tweet. And then you have people on Facebook trying to do this. So nothing, guys, when it comes to these dirt sheets, man, you guys got to understand something because a lot of you go and read this stuff. And I want to, real quick, you guys go and read this stuff as it's the gospel, right? When you got to take that with a grain of salt. You got to form your own opinion. Not everything Meltzer says, not everything that Sean Ross Sapp says, not everything that we say sometimes. I fantasy book a lot. When I'm with Pesci, we fantasy book a lot. You guys got to understand, don't take us serious sometimes. We're fantasy, but we're fans. We are fans of the product. We're going to fantasy book all the time. We're going to talk about championship situations. Are we right? Are we right most of the time? No, God, no. Hell no. But you guys take it as fact sometimes. You guys roll it as fact. Like, we said this, and it's like, no. We fantasy book. When I come in here, when I hang out in the PWO, we're fantasy booking. Sometimes. And we're just going off of what we see. We call it the way we see it sometimes. When it comes to news stories. For instance, we've talked about AEW views all the time, right? And I know I don't like people talking about views because I'm more if I want to enjoy wrestling shows, but there's a reason why we talk about them. AEW went down 100 views, 100,000. There's a reason for that. And AEW is catalyzing themselves. And I'm not trying to compare to WWE, but you guys asked me on the news, AEW is cannibalizing themselves. They tarp off their shit. They don't sell. They only
I
sell.
think I'm more surprised with AEW that, Raw has, almost 2 million watching them, and so does SmackDown. I'm surprised fans haven't trickled over there. To where where it shows up in a rating.
Oh, that's tough because, well, on a Wednesday, you got baseball, you got basketball going on. It's almost the playoffs. And I honestly think they put AEW Dynamite on at the wrong time. I think they put it on at the wrong time because what is happening at 7 on a Wednesday? Baseball. More people are tuning into baseball than they are fucking, I'm sorry to say that to you, than AEW at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, AEW is really trending backwards. Here's what's funny. The number that was listed that they got, that's not like that was the number for the whole show. They dropped viewers.
Yeah.
And it was in some scenes where you're like, what? And let me ask you this, because we didn't really talk about this much. The whole Mercedes Moné, hasn't she been there for like a month? Hasn't it felt like she hasn't done a damn thing?
3 weeks, and all she's been into is just segments.
Like, think of CM Punk when he came to WWE. They had him right in the mix. And to be fair, they had Rumble coming up. So they had an out. But I think with Monet, I want to see her in a feud. Tony's stringing her along to destiny.
Okay.
That's what he does. He strings everything.
So, all right. So this is where I'll fill you in on something. So Monet basically has got a feud happening. She said basically after Dynasty, I'm the next challenger for the TBS championship at their next pay-per-view. She called it right then and there last week. But I agree with you though. She should be further along than she is. I think we're not being told that she's still, recovering from her injury. She hasn't fully, got the medical clearance, so they're holding her off just to do vignettes and shit. But I'm with you on that. She should be in the ring already.
But to be fair, I just feel like she hasn't really put some juice in the show to make more people come.
I agree with you. She hasn't. I told you, she's not a thread needler. That's why WWE, now you see why Triple H went, yeah, go over there. Fine. You want to take the money? Go over there.
Well, I get that. WWE's never look at her as the number one. They would look at her as, yeah, we could use you, but we're not gonna pay you Tony money.
No, she's like a number 3 on a roster. No, she's not like, she's your number 3 pick. She's not a third round pick. She's not your...
Especially in the WWE right now, they got some women. Like when they get out.
Yeah. They showed you last night, and Bailey said this after the fact.
Yeah, Bianca, Naomi.
They showed you their cards. They made Bailey look like $1 million. And
think about this. Yeah, Bailey. Bailey's got a belt, and she's been kind of, I don't want to say forgotten, because she's always had her own fan base, but it's not like she was on our radar.
Right. G6, thank you for that.
You know what I mean? She just kind of slipped into that. And problem with Io, great wrestler, she's just not interesting.
You're right.
She looks like a girl that would be great in a faction that she's not running. Asuka and the other girl are just more, it feels like they bring more to the match than she does at times.
Here's my thing. I don't know why WWE, and here's my thing. These Japanese wrestlers they're bringing in, right, from Josie Pro Wrestling and things like that. I even saw that on Supercard. I agree with you here. You're bringing these people in, right? Tony Khan or Triple H, right? Julia, these people. Why are you not...
I don't even know who Julia is. I've never even seen her.
So she was on NXT. She's the new talent, the new shiny, like Asuka kind of character that they're bringing in from Stardom. She basically being promoted.
She's Japanese.
Yes. So here's the thing. So here's my thing, and I don't know if you agree with me here. Where are they not pulling these people to the side and giving them English work? Like, if you're going to be part of the WWE system, why don't we have somebody, you're getting paid a shit ton of money. Why don't we take some of that asset money, right? WWE, and hire these people, tutors, so they can learn English and promos. So we go.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's sometimes when they learn the English, and I got to imagine this makes sense. I think they know English, but they don't know how to put it into a promo form. Meaning, they know, when you speak a language, think how hard that would be. You speak a language your whole life. You tell an English guy, go cut a promo, he's going to cut a promo fine English. You tell an English guy to go cut a Spanish promo, if he only knows some Spanish, he's probably going to just struggle saying the words he knows. And I think that's the problem. I think they could go talk to Shinsuke, and he could talk back to you. But when you let him speak in his native tongue, that makes him look more like a wrestler. And I think when they do those promos with the subtitles, they make sense. And they got to figure out, but you can't do that on a live show.
Right.
I don't think you can. And that's where these guys falter. It's like Io. Great wrestler, all that, blah, blah, blah. Problem is none of those girls could cut a promo to get you like fully invested.
Right. Let me tell you guys this. Let me tell you guys this in this video, or when it, after the fact, you guys will watch, most of you will. But I tell you guys this straight up. The average age in NXT right now, and this is what Triple H has been telling you, and this is what MLB does, and this is what the NBA does with the G League, is 22 to 24. Your Braun Breakers, your Roxanne Perez.
Austin Theory was young not too long ago.
Yes. So Triple H is building within, guys. You got to understand what they're doing. They're not going out and signing the juicy talents. This is what WWE used to do. What you guys all fail to realize, and a lot of people ask me, I was like, why are they not going to get Okada, Will Ospreay, this person over here, that person over here? Because WWE is saying we could build within. We don't need to go out. We don't need them. We want them, yes. We don't need them. That's not a deal breaker. Our crowd will make you believe into a Roxanne Perez, an Ilya Dragunov,
a Sasha.
Like a Sasha, yeah. So it's like, we don't need to go out and get these other people. Yeah, those other promotions, yeah, fine. Spend all the money they want. Go get who you think. Tony's buying talent where
we could use them, but not at the detriment to where we can't make money as a company.
Right. And that's what you're seeing.
And that's Tony's persona. Or that's what they're saying about him. He's signing them. He's got the money to do it. It's not like nobody's never going to get paid. The problem is he ever going to make money on the business he loves? And at the same time, it seems like he doesn't truly care about that.
The thing is, me and Icon were saying the other night when we were watching Supercard of Honor or things like that, we were talking about, and this was the, why does AEW not have a farm system? They don't, because what Tony Khan thinks is he could buy whatever he wants. So for instance, he thinks with Okada, he could just buy them and fans are just going to come flocking to him.
Well, he doesn't have a farm system because the farm wrestles on Dynamite.
Yeah.
He has like all the guys that would be in a farm system wrestling with his big guys.
Yep. Oh, yeah,
and he's afraid to beat.
That's true.
Disco Inferno made a good point about this. He brings in jobbers for like Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yes, he
Instead
does.
Of just having them wrestle with guys he has hired.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
He's afraid to beat people. He's afraid. I think he's afraid to go to a guy like Edge. Anybody. Hobbs. The guys, just go, hey, man, you got to take a pin. That's why he's always doing these tag team matches. Yeah. These 3-ways. Kenny Omega on the biggest night of AEW's existence, the Wembley, the All In, when they were out in fucking whatever country.
England.
Kenny Omega was in a 6-man.
Yeah.
How is he not in a solo match? It's like one of the faces of that company that are still left.
We talked about this, you and I, both after the fact, not even recording. We both said the same shit. We said, why didn't you have...
Might as well have him go against Takeshi in a 1-on-1.
Right,
but
that's
Tony
what we
didn't
said.
Want to pin any of them.
Yeah, what you said basically, and I agree with you. You were like, if you're building up a Keshida, right, as this fucking brute guy, right, your future, why didn't you have him beat Kenny Omega clean? 1, 2, 3, and have Kenny put him over?
It was like when CM Punk was on Collision, and they had that three-way match, and Ricky Starks was the third man on one of the teams just to take the pin.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he
I
didn't want to
remember that.
pin anybody else. He didn't want to pin the Bullet Club at that moment.
Yeah.
Because they were hot with Juice Williams and them. And he puts Ricky Starks in the match just for the pin.
Yeah.
Don't give me that shit, Tony. That wasn't just because you didn't know who to pin there.
Right.
And your problem is you got to start pinning guys because everybody's all over the place.
Right.
There's no real feuds. You still have Wardlow wrestling jobbers at times from the streets. Like This was like 3 years ago. This was the plan 3 years ago, Tony. We got to switch it up. People say Wardlow's done. I don't think so. I think with the proper story, he could bounce back. But he always gets put in these shit factions. He's in a faction with Adam Cole, who's on crutches. And he calls himself the New Devil or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah, he's basically like the mafia leader. Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? And he's the smallest guy in the world, and he's on crutches. Dude, Wardlow, you could take those crutches from Adam Cole and smash him. For me, that was a bad move. Like, even though Wardlow might turn on them one day, the fact that Adam Cole was put in the biggest storyline injured, it just shows you Tony had no direction.
Yeah. Because
the kingdom hasn't gone up. What's funny is Roderick Strong was getting over, and then they put him in the kingdom, and that shit died. Remember that next Strong shit? That shit was starting to work.
Yes.
And
I remember that.
And yeah, because he was calling shots. You put him in this fucking New Devil gimmick, and now he has to change himself right when he was getting over.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It might have worked with them in a faction. I'm not saying that. But it was wrong time with Adam Cole on crutches.
Well, honestly, here's the thing. WWE should have kept him. Roderick, they should have kept. I was surprised he snuck over to AEW the way he did because he was over. He was over in NXT by himself without Adam Cole. He doesn't need Adam Cole to be over. That was the whole thing I laughed about. I'm like,
and it's going to be hard to revive Kyle O'Reilly. It's going to be interesting to see if they can. But I don't think they're going to re-spark that.
Well, Kyle O'Reilly, they're rebuilding him up to where he was before he got hurt, which was championship material. He was up in the on the main card, and of AEW.
I know. But I just think it's going to be hard right now to get him back.
Yeah, back to where he was.
Because they've already started with him being kind of like hesitant. You notice that when he was in those matches, they're like, "Does he need the kingdom to win?" So here we go. We got to wait weeks to see the real Kyle O'Reilly now.
That is very true. I will say this. WWE, I'm gonna tell you guys because I know we pretty much talked about everything to do with WWE. Cody got his flowers from Triple H once again. The Rock came out. The segment was a little bit weird. And we had like 3 or 4 matches that were quick. And yes, we got some NXT people. But at the end of the day, I was really expecting, and I'm still going to give WWE a B+. The crowd was into it. Drew McIntyre sold me to this blood feud that they're about to have with CM Punk. So it sold me. Like tonight, I went up a grade because of the promo work.
Oh yeah, who won the main event?
Jey Uso.
Wow.
Jey Uso's the number 1 contender.
I was wrong about that. I apologize for being wrong there.
CM Punk came out at the end underneath the ring. He came out underneath the ring and scared Drew McIntyre and screwed him over.
Okay.
And he had no cast on. So let's keep this in mind. This man has no cast on. So is he really healed? Or is he going against medical?
I think he's probably, less injured than we think, but I don't think he's cleared to wrestle.
Because this man's doing prominent segments now, like underneath rings, coming out, pushing people, beating people. I'm like, I just don't want to see CM Punk. Here's the thing with me. I think personally, I like CM Punk as a wrestler. I like CM Punk as I'm a CM Punk mark. I'll admit that.
Sure.
I think, and I'll say this openly, honestly, as a person. When did we get so soft as wrestling people? Like this whole CM Punk stuff, when this is all said and done on Wednesday, right? And this is how I really feel. When it's all said and done, can we just be fucking over it? It's like I listen to a lot of the old school wrestlers. They settled that shit in the ring, and we ended it, and it had great storylines to where they made money, and all people, people made their money. I just don't understand why in 2024, 2023, and 2022, why are we so sensitive? I just don't get it. Like, yeah, the Young Buck, like, it just feels like the Young Bucks, we divorced ourselves from CM Punk, right? Tony Khan, we divorced ourselves. Why are you acting like the scorned children? You're acting like you're like daddy left for a glass, a pack of cigarettes and some milk. Like,
even if the video shows Punk going out of control, I still don't know how that hurts Punk though.
Right, that's what I'm
gonna
saying.
make people go, man, he was a badass.
I think it's gonna. I really think it's gonna hurt AEW personally, long term. I think it's gonna hurt them huge, no matter what they do.
I think AEW needs to. I can't believe I'm saying this, but they need to try to bring back Jack Perry, take advantage of his heelness.
Yes.
Put him with the Young Bucks and Okada.
You know what? I agree with that. Yeah.
The Cucamonga kids, put them together. Because you got all this heat with Jack Perry and he's in Japan. Bring him out now. You're going to tell me that guy won't get a reaction right now? He might get you some people back.
Yes. You know, another person they should bring back into the fold that I think they should? Where's Scorpio Sky? That guy was piping hot.
Yeah, well, we've always talked about that. What's sad about Scorpio Sky is I remember watching Being the Elite, and he was in SVU. What was it?
SCU?
SCU, yeah. I remember him and those other two guys were in SCU, and they were on the Young Bucks show. I was like, dude, these guys are great. They're entertaining. They're this or that. It's Scorpio Sky. You want to talk about shitty booking? He never stood a chance with Tony's booking. That's all I'll say.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you because what happened was you had Kazarian doing his own thing, and I thought that was stupid. They should have.
And they were the first ever tag champions.
Yes,
but it was a horrible booking. I don't even remember their title run.
They had it for 3 months, and they lost it to Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega on the Chris Jericho cruise. I think it is. Chris Jericho.
No, Omega wasn't with Jericho then. That was when the Inner Circle was going
on. Let's see.
I don't think they lost it. Jericho and Omega wasn't until Omega got hurt.
Oh no! It was Kenny and who was it? It wasn't Jericho. It was on the Jericho.
Oh, it was
cruise.
Omega and Hangman Page.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. They took it off of them 3 months into the reign, and I went. We both said it. It was so stupid.
Well, it was stupid because we all wanted to see Hangman and Omega in a solo shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Not that they didn't have some good matches. I saw some good matches with them. I'm not gonna lie. They had a great match versus the Bucks. And I normally don't say that. But they had a great match versus the Bucks. And then when they finally decided to break all that up, the story was so weak, we don't remember it. That's why Tony Khan fucks up. Like, they turned Adam Page into a drunk. Not like Stone Cold. They turned him into a drunk to where he was crying, sitting at a bar, fucking pissed off, and everyone's walking all over him. They're clowning on him. It turned him into a clown. And these guys are supposed to be elite. They were the big friends together. That should have been their cast story. That should have been their bloodline story.
Right.
Tony fucked that up so many times. I remember when the Young Bucks first went heel, it was so pathetic. They just literally came to work and started super kicking like Schiavone and that other clown announcer. And now they're heel. And it's like, huh? And then when you turn them back to good guys, it made no sense. The Young Bucks have been watered down since day one. Other than the shit they've done in the last couple of weeks with Okada, not that it's great, but other than that, they haven't done much but just kind of like be in the background, be behind Kenny Omega, be with fucking Gallows and them when they had that fucking train going on where they would always cause trouble and shit.
I'm gonna tell you guys this straight up, and I'm gonna so Supposedly, and this is what AEW is doing on Wednesday, so I'm reading an article on it. This has been confirmed by Wrestle Inc. and a few others. They're going to show off not just the Brawl In, they're going to show little pieces of Brawl In. They're going to talk about it, and they're going to talk about the Jack Perry stuff. So I'm assuming on Wednesday, it's going to be the first half of the show is going to be dedicated to this shit. And that looks like a nightmare to me in the work. I think it's going to go the way of people are just going to shit all over it. And that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to have a ratings draw for the first hour, and then people are just going to go on Twitter and shit all over AEW for it, saying these guys are soft.
I'll tell you, if they go to Wembley this year, and let's just say they only do 50,000, that tells you that they're on the shit's ending.
Yeah, the party's over. Yeah, the honeymoon period's over. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I've said it all along with them. Like, if Tony Khan has one opportunity now, what he needs to do after this is they need to launch their own new era and just start, or they're gonna look like, hey.
No, they think they already did that. That's the funny thing. Tony Khan thinks they already started their new era.
Wow. And
remember, because he goes, these are the best shows we've done since our existence, and everybody's concentrated on the negative. Yeah. They think they're fucking Adam Cole. Adam Copeland came out the other day and said this is one of the most interesting places he's worked and all this shit. Like, what? I bet you a guy getting paid the money you're getting paid and asking to be do the shit you're going to do. Of course you would say that.
Well, I kind of got where he was coming from.
Adam Copeland's going to get paid $10 million or whatever he's getting paid, and then go cut a promo on Tony. Yeah, right.
So when I did my review for that show, I said, look, I get where Adam Copeland is coming from with the fans and whatnot. I get that. That's one thing. But you don't need to be kissing somebody's ass. You know what I mean? You don't need to be overselling AEW to your people. Like, people are going to come watch AEW no matter what it is.
Well, have an AEW guy do it.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you? You just got there.
And it didn't make him look any good when he turned around and he said this, that, and the third. And I was like,
you got to imagine the guys that are over, like at like Edge status, you get paid the money they get paid, and you're over the way they're over. It's probably very easy not to mind working for Tony.
Right.
But when you're a guy like Wardlow or some of these other guys that are in the middle of their career, these are the guys that are, getting screwed over by Tony's booking. Because you can put Edge in a goddamn garbage bag, and in 6 months, he'll still be Edge, and the WWE fans would take him back.
Yeah, you know what? You're not wrong.
That's why Sasha Banks, brilliant move. Because even if Tony books her shitty, the WWE will take her back with open arms. They'll all blame Tony, and they'll be like, you're back. Now she's going to take off. I just said, Tony's in a hard spot, unfortunately, because even if he does do shitty booking, all these people are going to go to the WWE, and the WWE fans are going to eat it up.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. And the thing is, if you guys didn't hear after when Raw came on the air, Matt Hardy announced that he declined AEW's offer. So you guys now know this. It's been confirmed. He did. It reportedly now it's now confirmed. He's confirmed it himself. He turned down AEW's offer completely. He said that
The Rock was offered money by AEW?
No. Hardy boy. Matt, he turned it down as of tonight. He said, no, I'm not taking it. It was a good offer. He said it was a good offer.
And here's what's funny about that. This is a guy that was really good friends with the Young Bucks. So for him to turn down money when you're I'm not saying best friends, because the Young Bucks look up to the Hardys. And they used to wrestle on the indie scene too sometimes. And they wrestle at AEW. He likes them. He's put them over on Twitter. So for him to leave, that shows you a lot. That shows you where they're at and everything. Because if you're leaving two guys that are pretty much in charge and they were your close friends and that connection wasn't enough for you to re-sign, then there's problems there.
So it says here in the report, so I'll read this to you guys here. So you guys have been asking me all night about this. The report, so I'll read this. Matt Hardy had joined back in 2020. Per Fightful Select, the report claims that the two parties had a negotiation to extend his stay in the AEW, but Hardy himself rejected the offer, according to Fightful Select and his own podcast. Further statement, AEW had added a few weeks to his contract for injury time that lasted
Right.
through
But that's why Jeff Hardy's going to be there for a while.
And Sean Ross Sapp revealed that Jeff Hardy is set to is still part of the company due to extent, like you just said. Basically, out of this, I'm reading this. This is from Wrestling Inc. Basically, in the article, his podcast was 3 days ago, so they put out some statements. He did say the money they offered was very generous, but Hardy has basically stated throughout his. I'm reading this as part of his podcast. They tidbit that he wants to go out on his terms, not be enhancement, talent or a coach or a producer. That's what he's basically saying. He feels that he has 3 more good years within him, and he wants to show what he's got with winning a proper championship.
Yeah, I actually like Broken Matt Hardy a lot, but that's just me.
I'm going to tell you guys, here's my personal opinion. I don't think Matt would go back to... I don't think WWE wants Matt Hardy right now because they're pushing young up-and-coming talent. You know what I mean? I don't think
they want Hardy without Jeff.
That too.
Not that he couldn't do it himself, but if you're going to bring back the Hardy Boys, let's bring them both back.
I think he signs a short deal, and this is my opinion. I think he signs a short deal with TNA.
I don't know what Jeff's relationship is with the company. You got to remember, he fucking left in a drunken rage one night or some shit. Remember, he just left in the crowd?
Yeah. He also just got hurt and concussed by Sammy Guevara.
So if there's one guy who wants to probably take Tony's money at the moment, that would be him.
Jeff
like
Hardy?
Matt Hardy's got fucking a bunch of kids. Shit is probably head later. I mean, I don't know, but he's probably less fucked up than Jeff is. I gotta imagine.
I'd honestly tell you, here's the thing with Jeff, because Jeff's probably lost a shit ton of money. I'm gonna make this assumption when his contract, the extension period, right, from all injuries and shit. I think Jeff stays with AEW. Well,
like I said, I could see that because he probably is like, man, this boss isn't on my ass. I go to WWE, they're gonna be on my ass.
Yeah, and they're throwing me a shit ton of money to stay. Yeah,
like I said, Matt Hardy might just be more upstairs.
True.
And I think Hurricane Helms works for the WWE, and I know there's a connection there with him and Matt. Remember when Matt Hardy had the fucking whatever that was, the farm match?
Oh yeah, the Woken Matt Hardy farm match. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Hurricane Helms and Gangrel were there.
All right, is there any wrestling other news coming out? Wrestling before we go, wrestling news. I want to make sure I get everything covered.
Yeah, because I'm ready to end.
Gotcha.
It's just because my lungs are hurting.
One other thing I will say, we'll wrap it up real quick. This news story came out today. Nick Khan, after WrestleMania went off the air and everything, and he had talked to reporters. One thing Nick Khan did report and did say, he confirmed this. WWE, there is no such thing as a forbidden door. We are working with all companies from small to big. You will see more of our stars make guest appearance here and there on certain shows if the storylines are right with that said promotion. And
yeah, we should do one of these reviews at their AEW on Wednesday.
Yeah, for sure. We will definitely. There you go. You guys got it.
We could always go in we have to go in one of those locked rooms. We can just to do the the review.
Cool. What are we giving tonight? B plus? B plus? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I was basing it on Raw last year after Mania, and that goes down as notoriously one of the worst shows of the year. So they're on the up and up. He brought in some people from NXT tonight. Obviously, you weren't going to see too many of the SmackDown people tonight, I'm guessing. So that's why we didn't see like Lashley, Street Profits. But it was average. I think the main event should have been more of a one-on-one instead of a. You could have probably did that 4-man match that they did in the middle of the fucking show, and then had some kind of different main event.
Icon, how do you feel tonight? B plus. What are you feeling? I don't know if Icon's here. You still here, buddy? Icon? I think Icon stepped away.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a B plus, just because it's hype after the show. I think Icon did give it a B plus while we were doing the watch long. So
I think the Rock and Cody thing was so weird that it really brought the grade down.
yes,
I think if that would have just been good, people probably would have loved the show a lot more.
yeah, I 100% agree with that. I will tell you guys, Wednesday we'll have a review. It looks like for me how the review schedule is gonna go. Since Pesci wants to do these more, here's what we'll do: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will do quick reviews if I have the time of NXT and TNA and Ring of Honor. I don't want to do too many shows going. Here's the thing. And with Pesci wanting to do a news story podcast show with possibly Punch a Ho or another friend of ours, I don't want to stack up too much stuff through the week. So we are going to be doing some wrestling stuff. You guys are loving it, and you guys are telling me this. So we're going to do more. And I know Pesci's been wanting to do stuff, so I will work on some overlays and stuff by Wednesday. We'll have something for it. I know Pesci's been saying he wants to be an alternative to a cough show and do something fun. So we're going to start doing that around here for sure. You guys are having a blast with it. Just yesterday, guys, we had a party. So Pesci had huge party, and I had a huge party, unfortunately. That's what happened for 2 nights. I had people coming in and out going, "Oh, you're watching WrestleMania? You're going to be watching it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you want to..." It took off legs. And I didn't want to have like 7 people and another 7. It just becomes crazy at that point, especially when people are over talking each other. So that's why I kind of kept it separate from what Pesci was doing, because I didn't want it to, cross interfere, out of respect. Because when you have 14 people in a room, it's hella fucking loud. And, interfering with people, cross talking, especially when somebody's trying to get their opinion out and then somebody else is trying to talk to this other person. And it just becomes annoying. And then, you piss people off. So that's why I did what I did. We had about like 5 in the server the night. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping in. I will have Pesci's link down below in the description of the channel, where you can find him and his other social media links and things like that down below in the description. So you can go out and follow him. Every week when we do these shows, I know he's going to be doing it for his channel as well when we do Wednesday. And stuff like that. I'll have links and stuff to the people I do this stuff with, so you guys can go out and follow. Thank you guys for stopping in on the YouTube side and watching. I appreciate all this love and support and all the feedback. You guys are loving this shit. I'll do more of these if you guys want me to do more. I won't do the watch along stuff for me. I'm kind of getting burnt out on the watch along part, but I don't mind doing the big reviews. You know what I mean? I don't mind doing the big reviews. I know Pesci likes doing the watch along thing, but I've noticed
I just watch just because I got to see what happens. That's how I do my review.
Yeah. So we'll do more of them. Trust me, I'll have overlays and stuff like that. And maybe if you like this, maybe we'll do more than just wrestling stuff. I know Pesci's been telling me he likes doing the stuff with me when it comes to this, because we could talk days, months, years. When it comes to wrestling, we can. But yeah, Pancho's working on getting his setup and everything together. So Pancho will be joining us once he said he gets his setup, his mic and mixer board.
Yeah, hopefully.
And all that stuff. So he doesn't want to do it now because he feels his mic is not good, which I've told him his mic is just fine.
I just think he's nervous.
That's true. Anyway.
But yeah, I'm gonna back out because I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys later then.
All right.
Icon, what do you give a review real quick?
Before
we go.
I would probably give it like maybe like a B minus or a C plus,
Okay.
at least that. Like it's because of like the kind of that beginning kind of toss it off a little bit more. I feel like the ending was good. Besides, like less spots still, which is I'm not gonna complain quite as
Real
hard.
quick, Pesci, real quick. If you're still watching this, buddy, make sure to get tons of rest, feel better for Wednesday. Also, to go to the store and get yourself some Mucinex and some over-the-counter ibuprofen. One will be for the affection of your lungs, because you sound like you have a sinus infection / lung infection. Get DM, you'll be all right. And also get personal opinion, get some ibuprofen for the pain, and maybe like a sleep aid. Like I would say maybe some NyQuil probably. Just to go to sleep on. Yes, I am a connoisseur of medicines, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why, because I get sick a lot, so I know how to treat things without having to go to a doctor before. That's your the Mucinex DM and the ibuprofen, the pain, and then for the chest congestion. So just go to the store and spend like $25. You'll be fine. You can sleep all day one day. Just take Thursday or Tuesday off again and just get some sleep, and then come back on Wednesday. Icon, go ahead and finish your thought. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Health is come up first.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's like I'm not saying like it's bad though overall. So I'll give it like probably that, and or maybe a little bit higher, like a B average. So I'm not saying like it's that bad. Like I've seen
I
worse.
think that's
So
how we all. I think that's how we all feel. One thing I'm going to tell you guys. Sorry about the AEW talk, but kind of you guys have been asking us a lot, especially me and Icon when we do reviews, or we do it with Pesci in the group. You guys need to understand. We're going to talk AEW stuff no matter what review it is. We're going to talk WWE stuff within an AEW review. It's just because you guys ask us the questions, you know what I mean? And us as in people that do these shows, we're gonna comment. We can go day. Me and Icon can go day months and years, just like fucking me and Pesci. We could just go on for days. That's what I love about these gentlemen. It keeps me going. That's why I brought them in on doing the shows with me, because it's like, and I've also been doing stuff with Pesci over on the PWO side. It's just great. I mean, they keep me on my feet, and the shows are going longer for you guys. Especially when if you like these shows, donate. It helps all of us here. I will be giving, if we get enough here, I'll give back to the co-host here, and they could use a little bit of it for their games or whatever they do. Everything when I do something with somebody on this show, if we do make revenue on this show and on any platform, I will give it back to these gentlemen in some type of, for helping me out, because it makes the shows. And that's just the right thing to do when it comes to anything that I do. They help out these shows. I know I'm not going to get Icon all the time to do these shows, but when it does matter to me. And like I said, same with Pesci. I know I'm not gonna get Pesci all the time either. You guys may get solo reviews from me here and there, but I have a blast doing it with these gentlemen. And like I said, I want to continue to do them. They're fun. I don't plan on, like, sometimes we may do a watch along, sometimes we may not, depending on how I'm feeling and depending on how I get up in the day, man. Like today I was tired. Like I came on here, I was kind of just, I got woken up early in the morning and I was kind of like lagging, and I had my Alani energy drink and I was kind of still lagging. And yeah, it's kind of kicked in now. Yeah, like I said, I appreciate all gentlemen. I appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with me the last couple of nights, man. You guys have been killing it the last 4 nights, man. It's crazy. But anyway, it's that time of the night. I want to thank you all. If you're on my other platforms, we're going to raid out and we're going to find somebody real quickly. I got the perfect person. They are playing Tower of Fantasy. So we are going to go over to Lady Uwu. We're going to show them the love over on Twitch Arena. And I'm going to go relax for a few hours. and get back to the game streaming. Because tomorrow I'm not covering NXT. NXT, if I do, it'll be a show. It'll be a show over there for quick review reasons. So anyway, we're gonna go there. Live Stace, I'll see you later. Kick, I love you guys. I'll see you guys later. If you're on YouTube, thanks for stopping in. Thank you for watching the review. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon down below. Icon, where can we find you real quick? Is that going to be on X? Or do you give out any of your social media links or anything like that? People can come follow you anywhere special?
I know I might not be right, but I might have to pass on it. Thank you, though.
You're welcome. All right. So guys, make sure Icon guest of the show, check it out down below. Be in the Discord and stuff like that. They're my mod, so thank you for being here, my friend. And Pesci, thank you, PWO. We'll see you guys Wednesday. No, we're gonna be game streaming here in a little bit. I'm gonna take a quick break, but if you're tomorrow's game stream day, so I'll be on all day, Overwatch grinding, doing the things. Got to beat that battle pass, but that's what we're doing. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Peace.